Here is my statement as follows.
I'm making this statement though I felt troubled. This hopefully will not cause bad vibration if we are talking that way now. If I sound new age like I lose people of some of the fellowships, I will say in my opinion not be negative. In the recent days I was very troubled, even disturbed. I really need to have strong emotional stability. I was even troubled to breathe tears. It's just that I have gotten so shaken up on constant matters of the heart. Then I have to remember the struggle became real on the farming site in which I live. I have to remember that we live in a site with not all human. Though some looked human but are allegedly not all humans that live among us. Some in the fellowships will convince me in all well-meaning that this is spiritual and everything is just me against dark entities. No to those who will teach the people things and will make claims as though I was not altogether, because I will share about the various species who allegedly live among us. Some even have taken up employment. Then I also remembered something that one of the doctors of the greater good that is in ministry shared in an interview, that they believed God showed them of the genetically modified ones. Well, for the sake of all the information I have received recently, some allegedly that and others are just. They are just not all human. One of the media that I follow on Rumble shared that clip again, which shared about the reptilians, and that some of the former leaders of this farming site, which is America, were shapeshifters, as though some were of the reptilians. The one who however knew of, even had close proximity of those who were in touch with the reptilians, reassured that the recent MRT was all human and knew about many things related to the various species. It's just I was recently troubled, and now the subject of the non-human life forms keeps coming up. In my case, I have been single longer than I wanted. Then, as I have had to get red-pilled, and more of the general population will have to. It's just anything of me in relation to certain types of relationships. I have to remember not to keep letting stuff bother me. Though I was deeply troubled, I have to remember not to feed the dark energy. I know I lost some folks with the reptilians and the vibration stuff. I will say I'm not trying to be negative. It's just I was laying rested with a lot on my mind. It's just I had to realize any certain physical desires of a certain nature is overrated. I needed to avoid any strong desires of certain kinds to better function in my life and refrain from being unhappy. I'm thinking, does anything even matter anymore about certain feelings? I was just thinking, do I even think about connecting or anything, because I may have had attractions and or emotionally charged by one or more emotions, in some cases for the sake of non-suspicion, non-human or humans, possibly for another sake of constant matters not all human. Do I even desire any connection? I have to be very, very careful that there are various species that work among us as well as live among us. I have let so many emotions that I almost cried, not because it was about current situations. It's just in the recent years I did not want to come across as overly aggressive and or aggressive period towards certain ones of the opposite gender. I will, because of woke culture, say their birth gender. Not that it mattered. Who's counting? I kept counting, and I have continued to count, not in numbers of a certain amount but mentally in too much dismay. Now I got to deal with if I was emotionally charged because of non-humans or a non-human life forms. Not that it mattered. It's just that I have felt very bad to the point of constant negative emotions. Not that I was trying. It's just not everyone among us is all human allegedly. I mean the ones that look human. It's just I thought deeply about this laying on certain mats that I call bed because I refused to buy another bed. I did not plan to live long term in my current situation and location. Yet, remembering also, I want to be able to leave fast and not have to tote things up and down 3 flights of stairs without a working elevator. Though there was no elevator in the current building. Who needs one? It's just we can't let stuff bother us on certain matters. Not that we can't stand up and speak out against things we believe are wrong publicly. In my case, keep sharing and exposing those and things of a dark nature. That includes the various species which I can claim allegedly live among us. It's just it gets more puzzling every day and the crap show continues. The general public needs to know because those who hear my statement will think that I am sharing various things off the wall. My statements in my opinion are very real and I am very serious about my statements made here. Not that it mattered. It's just that for my deeper emotional stability I needed to share in this statement with not the best of grammar and run-on sentences typed. It's just I had too many unnecessary feelings lately and I keep thinking about in the recent years how too many things have bothered me. At times I didn't want to really live. Sometimes I even wanted to hide. I was so hurt to the pain of do I even desire various types of human connection if all I'm gonna do is be all emotional and come across appearing aggressive towards the opposite gender. Not that it mattered. Do I want anything anymore? It's just recently I have thought more recently of the non-humans. Various of those allegedly run the system and many in society has not been trained and it's been horrible in the fellowships. People are taught more how to focus more on spiritual aspects than to think about any other life forms living among us looking human but not. Folks will speak of deliverance ministry in the picture of various folks just are run by entities inside them. At the most emotional deliverance and or something and or things being done that are not right. I don't believe a lot that deal with deliverance and things will believe that there are full-bodied species that live among us including some that look human. Not that anything mattered these days to many I'm making off-the-wall statements. However, I have tried to tiptoe even tried to play on words and explain in the explanation of this nation of those who live among us who are not all human allegedly for the sake of sharing on certain platforms. I have strong opinions and try to give them as I see fit to do so. Not that it mattered at this point in time and space. It's just I let too many things bother me lately. I try not to but still. I just want to be able to share against massive censorship. In my opinion I will say. It's been hard not that I'm gonna let it stress me. It's just I kept letting emotions divert me from being where I needed to be in life seriously and emotionally. I just want to be honest without having to play on words here. It's just that people need to know about the various species that are not said demons and unbodied things that folks in the fellowships are taught. The population has been dumbed down and those who lead the fellowships have assisted in many years. It's just various things have bothered me and I let emotions run wild and I will try even push myself to do better in this and other constant matters in matters of the heart. With much love and serious supplications. I mean various things. Even more of the various prayers. It's just I will continue to share and inform the people. Folks need to know. In my case, be better emotionally. In more such a time as this, will try to refrain from thinking in a harmful matter, yet not ignoring things and emotional things that needed to be stated to help myself and others. Here's my open vent in all honesty. There are not just dark forces. There are genetically modified and full-bodied non-human life forms that allegedly live among us. I really the more must, as we must not be so emotionally charged in ways that do get the greater good done. I want to be able to be stronger and live longer and be happy. All I can be is be me. Though some personality traits I have preferred not to have. Maybe what I think is bad may not be so bad. Besides, there needs to be someone like me that will not hold back and tell it like it is, and not be afraid to share things that will alarm folks and may come across as being off the wall. Serious, some facts and opinions will be off the wall. People you see or not need to know. I will leave that there and will continue to share when I can, for the love of humanity, myself, God and so many others. Thank you. This is Michelle again, and I have approved this message. Message.
It's repeated message. I kept clicking on it. But the truth of the matter is, whenever they said U.S., I meant to, it was saying us. But unfortunately, the way it spoke it. But I will leave that there. And, it's just what's on my mind and what's on my heart. And I just things are said, and just look in the description, and I have things in the description, and I started putting my P.O. box, and a lot of times I put my P.O. box in the description, and just check out the description, and I typed something, and I read it out. I got the audio read to read it out loud, and they didn't pronounce everything quite and said everything quite like I wanted to, but I will leave that there. All right.